Good evening. As the sun sets and the 8th day of Chanukah actually begins, it's my pleasure to welcome everybody. I'm Chuck Lesnick. I am a member of the JCY Westchester Community Partners Advisory Committee and also serving as a representative to Governor Cuomo here today. So, as you may know, JCY Westchester Community Partners merged with Family Service Society of Yonkers. So we're bigger, stronger, and financially solid. And representing FSSY is Thomas Benton, who is no stranger to City Hall, having been a commissioner of Bureau of Finance back in the day when he used to sign all my checks.
I didn't sign all of them, Chuck.
Thank you, Thomas Benton.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Chuck. On behalf of the Family Service Society of Yonkers, as the board president, and on behalf of all my other board members, as well as our staff and all our employees, would like to wish you a happy holiday. Enjoy.
And one of those staff members is our executive director, Seth Berman, who's over here.
Hello, everybody.
And another one everybody knows, Janice Lubin-Kirshner. And we have other staff members around if they just want to wave. Thank you for all your help. We now have the chaplain of the Yonkers Police Department, Rabbi Rigoberto, my good friend, who will put Chanukah in perspective.
Chag Sameach, everyone. It's good to be with you. A wonderful celebration. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for receiving. Every year, this is one of the events that we look forward to enjoying together. Chanukah is also called the Festival of Lights, and I wanted to share with you just what I think is really a very simple thought. We get together here every year at City Hall. And to us, this is a wonderful celebration of our religious freedom. And every year, we see in the papers all of these wonderful celebrations in malls and all of the big events. And they have, you know, every town has the world's largest Hanukkah menorah. Well, the world's largest Hanukkah menorah, please identify itself. There's even a big, huge Chanukiah placed on the mall in Washington, D.C. And all of us come to these events and we're very moved by them. But I wanted to share with you something, and it's not really to deconstruct this event, but I do want to share with you an idea that perhaps we should really think about our celebration of Chanukah and realize that really the celebration of lighting the Chanukiah occurs in the window of our home. You see, I think that all too often, the large conglomerate systems of Judaism focus Jewish life on the synagogue and on public events. But perhaps the holiday of Chanukah is really saying to us, wait a minute, Chanukah isn't just some sort of a public event. It's really an event that happens not with the world's largest menorah, maybe at Ridge Hill, or at City Hall, or anywhere else where that large, spectacular, impressive menorah happens, but really that little Hanukkah menorah that's in the window of each one of our homes, in our neighborhoods, speaking to our neighbors in the darkness and sharing a little bit of light is really the focus of what Jewish life is about. You know, a few days ago, I drove by and, you know, we look up and I see a beautiful apartment right nearby in the new apartments, and I see these beautiful decorations for Christmas. And there's a beautiful Christmas tree in the window, and I look again, and right next to that Christmas tree is an electric menorah. And I look at it, and I say to myself, what a wonderful thing to see. It's obvious this is a family that is celebrating both holidays. I can make up all kinds of stories as to why that is going on. But one of the members of that family felt strongly enough about their Jewish life that right next to that big, impressive, beautiful Christmas tree, just like right here, is a menorah that is being lit by that member of that family. Maybe the holiday of Chanukah is a celebration of our public celebration here at City Hall, but we should never ever forget that the most important Chanukiah that you will ever see is not this one here at City Hall, even though I'm surrounded by tremendously important people. And that's very funny. No, I really mean it. I really mean it. But really, it's that little Chanukiah that you light in your home, that lights up your neighborhood, that you share your light with your neighbors. May it be God's will that every year, as we celebrate Chanukah, and we celebrate it big, and it's a wonderful event, that we never lose sight of the fact that every single one of us is a piece of the holiday, and every single one of our homes is part of the celebration of the holiday. And here we are in Yonkers City Hall, that represents all of the citizens of Yonkers, and in our homes, we're lighting our Chanukiahs and lighting up the streets with our light, contributing to the light of our neighbors here in the city of Yonkers. I'm honored to be in your company. I am wearing the uniform of the Yonkers Police Department because I want to honor them. I am a chaplain in the Yonkers Police Department, and I wanted to honor my colleagues in the Yonkers Police Department, who I believe are really modern-day Maccabees, that put on the uniform and come forward to defend us in our time of need. So thank you very much for the opportunity to celebrate with you.
Thank you, Rabbi. And it is a wonderful thing that here in this public arena, that you, the taxpayers, you, the residents of Yonkers, own. We celebrate Christmas and Chanukah because, you know, in the Constitution it talks about freedom of religion. It doesn't say freedom from religion. So we're all free to practice our different faiths, and that's really one of the underlying reasons why the Maccabees were fighting and one of the great celebrations of Chanukah. We now have Rabbi Manny from the Chabad of Yonkers, and he's going to speak as well.
Thank you very much. I have something to say for just about 8 minutes, but Chanukah may just give it 8 times that amount. So sit back.
All right,
first of all, to our Rabino, it's very, very nice. And we do invite you next year to come to the Rich Hill and Cross County and onto Meyer Park to come and join and maybe even light the menorah and see what it is. It is true that the one in your window is extremely important. It really starts one step behind. It's in your heart. But keeping it in your heart, they say a lot of Jews have heart attacks because, everything is that they keep the entire religion in their heart. Starting in the heart is a great place, but then you have to also practice and build on that. Now, interesting, I wanted to speak about this idea of Chanukah. You find with all of the holidays that, it's eating matzah, bitter herbs. It reminds you of different things. So Chanukah, we have so many different things that reminds us of the miracle, right? Why do we light the menorah? Because there was not enough oil. But one can question and say, you know what? We could also just eat donuts and latkes, and we would remember it's Chanukah. Not always do we have, 8 donuts or the gifts or everything. Why is it lighting the menorah, and particularly the candle, the flame? What's this idea of a flame that we're lighting, that we're igniting? We could have, Sukkah's time, we get special permission from the building department. Only if your sukkah is extremely big. If not, you can. I think Leelman told me if it's under 200 square feet, you're good to go. You can build a sukkah without a permit. But why isn't it that we, building something else for Hanukkah? Let's build a dreidel house or a menorah house and sit there for 7 days or 8 days and eat our latkes. And why is it that no? Hanukkah, it's about lighting the candle. And if we look back, what did they want? What did our enemies want? What were they trying to defeat? They were trying to defeat the freedom of religion. That you should not be able to go out in the streets and practice your Judaism. or your religion. You should not be able to go out there. Even secretly in your house, you shouldn't be able to do it, but for sure not in public. If you're caught, we're going to finish you off. That's why Chanukah, over all other holidays, is the most public event, to go ahead and light the menorah on the outside to show that we didn't have to be scared. We're free to practice, and we can do everything we need, because we don't have this enemy anymore coming against us and trying to hold us back. And that's the flame. When you light that flame, there's a very famous story with a silversmith. Town sent the silversmith over to the next big town to learn how to become the best silversmith or blacksmith, whatever, a locksmith, whatever it was. And he's training, and they put all the funds together for him to train by the best, the top, the elite. And after so much time have passed, and he has learned, he comes back and he wants to show the trade to the city that supported him. And it comes, he has everything prepared, his pliers, his silver, his this, everything is there. But he's trying to bend the silver and it's not going. One detail he forgot. His silversmith, the teacher showed him that everything on the outside, everything looks right, you got everything right, but there was one detail he forgot over there. He forgot the flame. Without the heat, you're not going to be able to form and do. And that's the candle. We come and we light the menorah, we light that candle. You know, we can both be doing the same thing, but one is doing it with a cold shoulder, or just doing it, because he has to do it. There's no warmth there. If someone does it with excitement and warmth, that shows that the little flame is burning, and that continues. It can give someone else also this idea of having this warmth and putting a smile on their face. It doesn't have to be the biggest mitzvah, going to synagogue every day. No. You can start with a small thing, making your neighbor, making your family happy, by just doing a little thing, but do it with warmth. Show that you really care. Show it's coming from your heart. That's the candle of Chanukah. And we should all be able to take this candle home, not just throughout Chanukah. Today's the 8th, tonight we're lighting 8 candles, but we should be able to light this throughout the year. Not only if you're going by the year of, by December 29th, and comes January 1st. Whichever year you're counting, we count according to both. But any of the year, throughout the entire season, to be able to take you from year to year, from strength to strength, and have this idea of lighting, and continue to have this effect that others will also be able to be lit. Take care. Happy Chanukah.
Thank you, Rabbi. Before I introduce the mayor to speak, I just want to introduce some of the distinguished people to my right, starting with our minority leader, John Larkin. Our majority leader, John Larkin. Our minority leader, Michael Sabatino. We have, Michelle's going to speak, so we have Michael Breen, a city councilman from the 5th District. Christopher Johnson, who is soon to exit as council member from the 1st and soon to be a county legislator when he gets sworn in on January 1st, representing 1/4 of Yonkers. And we have Michael Cater, who was just elected as Yonkers City Council President. Pleasure to see Michael. We also have people from the city. I see Steve Sansone, the Deputy Commissioner of Parks, and we're talking about the largest menorah. There's a pretty big one at Untermeyer Gardens, and in fact tomorrow you should all come for the grand illumination, which really complements the menorah. And again, Samuel Untermeyer, a Jewish man married to a Catholic woman, built a Persian garden, a very ecumenical thing. So speaking of ecumenical people, we have Carmen Gomez-Goldberg here, and Cindy from the charter school. We have support from the charter school. Steve Levy, our deputy mayor. Senator George Latimer just came in, but he's going to the wrong place. He's supposed to come up in the front. Because he's going to be speaking here soon, too. Ed Falcone from the Yonkers Library, along with Susan Baer, great supporters here. Angie Kowinski, who's with the mayor's LGBTQ task force and the Yonkers Historical Society, and other great things. We have former Councilman Elliot Pillay, who's sitting right here. We have Janice Schweitzer from the Lincoln Park Jewish Center, who's the president of the leadership of the Lincoln Park Jewish Center, the Grayston Jewish Center. You didn't give me notes, so I don't know what other city folks I'm missing right here. What? They're speaking. I know, they're speaking. So, I said Cindy, yes. So, we are now going to go to... We'll do the picture. We have to get the flame first, and then we'll do the picture. Mike Spano, the mayor of the city of Yonkers.
It's good. You got got everyone announced, so I think we're okay. But my job is to welcome each and every one of you to City Hall. We love doing this event each and every year, especially when we have the menorah and of course our Christmas tree here in the same room. Imagine 50 years ago, 100 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. Today, you know, we celebrate our diversity. We celebrate the richness of our cultures, and certainly we are celebrating the Festival of Light, of Lights with Hanukkah here today at City Hall. So we couldn't be more excited to have you all here at City Hall to join in the celebration of this wonderful month of December, and just to say happy holidays to you, happy Hanukkah. Certainly have a wonderful New Year and enjoy your time here at City Hall. We're just so excited to spend some time with all of you today, and certainly throughout this holiday season. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mayor. As I step back, I see the people I missed. Jeff Landsman is on the planning board. Good to see you, Jeff. We have Eric Schoen, who not only writes a column for the Rising and is on the scholarship committee of the JCY, but he's also the haberdasher to the stars. He was the one who provided the dreidel tie for the mayor that he's wearing. Eric is pretty good tie himself. And the next person is going to be Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, who has long represented this area and has represented human rights and other sorts of great accomplishments and achievements. Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, the leader of the Democratic Conference in New York State, one of the women trying to break the three men in the rule and get in there.
Break that glass ceiling, right? Well, thank you, Chuck. And you do your MC job very, very well. So it is always good to be here. Happy Hanukkah. It is the first. I'm sorry to say that my life has been so busy that this day is the first time I've had an opportunity to see a menorah getting lit, which is usually, again, I'm usually there from day one somewhere because I represent Yonkers and Greenberg and White Plains and New Rochelle, Scarsdale, all the river towns, and there was there was a menorah lighting every single day. And then we had the debate. I think Sunday we were at an event and we were talking about today and whether or not this was, Mayor, the last day of Hanukkah. I don't want to tell you how many people believed that it was over. And I'm saying to myself, well, I'm not going to debate with the Jewish community about when Hanukkah is. But I do know that we are having one here in City Hall. And I know that this season is not complete unless I have at least one menorah lighting and at least two rabbis explaining to us why this is important, and at least 3 elected officials telling you that we get it. But most importantly is that we do have this conversation in this great city every single year. That we, with our Christmas tree and our menorah, and soon even a kinara, we say, we are one people. We are one people. We worship in different ways. We look different ways. We may have grown up in different cultures, but we are one people, and we are great when we indeed show our light. Happy Hanukkah. Thank
you. As I see more people come, I see Wilson Kimball, our Commissioner of Planning and Development, and I see E.T., Euthemios Theotokakis. You know, the Maccabees were fighting against the Greeks, but today Greece is and Israel are great allies. And as we know that great line in Hamilton, history is about who wins, who loses, and who gets to tell the story. So we're going to tell the story here tonight. George Latimer is the state senator who represents the other half of Yonkers, but soon he's going to represent all of you, the entire county of Westchester, our county executive-elect, our senator, my good friend, George Latimer.
I don't know what Chuck's rates are to MC, but it's got to be a pretty decent rate because he's about as good as it comes. This is the Festival of Lights, but it's also a festival of hope in that we learned the lesson that the oil didn't run out. And many times in our lives as individuals or our collective lives as a community, as people involved in organizations, sometimes we lose faith for the moment. Sometimes we lose heart. Sometimes we think things aren't going to work out. If you look at Washington, D.C. today, there's a lot to be unhappy about. And to think maybe we're in deep trouble, and we may be in deep trouble, but I have faith. And I have faith because the oil doesn't run out. And if you have faith, whatever our religious traditions are, this is a season where we lean on those traditions and we look at things that our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents believed, and we take it to heart. Because sometimes science and sometimes, certainly not government, can't give you the answers. You have to rely on faith. You have to rely on something inside, something in your heart, and something in your head that tells you there is something greater than all of this. That's why we celebrate this great festival, and it comes at a time of the year where a variety of religious traditions come together. So in Yonkers, you have great faith, and the oil continues to flow. Thank you. Great to be part of it.
With a potential $30 million county budget deficit, George Latimer is hoping the oil does not run out. We need faith. We also need Shelley Mayer, our assemblywoman and a longtime friend of the JCY, a member of the Jewish community. Shelley Mayer, our assemblywoman.
Thank you, Chuck, and it is really a pleasure to be here and to celebrate and to make sure that we celebrate this beautiful Festival of Lights. And before I came, not knowing that my friends from the Academy for Jewish Religion were going to sing my favorite song, I printed out the lyrics of Light One Candle. And I just want to read the last verse because it really speaks to what we're here for. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. And light one candle for those who are suffering pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, that anger not tear us apart, and light one candle to find us together with peace as the song in our hearts. Happy Hanukkah.
So the next piece requires a bit of choreography here, as we're going to have the mayor, our shamus, light the shamus, and then he's going to be followed by Rabbi Vinyas lighting the first candle, Rabbi Horowitz lighting the second candle, Shelley Mayer lighting the third candle. I am representing Governor Cuomo lighting the fourth candle. By the way, I'm supposed to read this letter, and since I'm on TV, I better do it so that the governor doesn't get mad at me, because he signed it, he sent it out. He just says that the Festival of Light commemorates the return of the Jewish people to the Holy Temple, where a day's supply of oil lasted for 8, a season of miracles that offers hope for the brighter tomorrows and strengthens our resolve and belief in tomorrow, of freedom over opposition and oppression, the triumph of faith over tyranny. He says some more things. You all tell him I read it. Thank you. Next thing is Thurman is lighting our 5th candle. Nancy Klein is lighting our 6th candle. And Dr. Ora Horn-Prauser is lighting our 7th candle. Then Cantor Michael Casper is lighting our 8th candle. And then Cantor Casper will lead us with the Academy of Jewish Religion in some special Hanukkah music. And if you do a special encore, I think Chris Johnson will also lead us in a song. So, with that, everybody remember their order? Yes. Okay. The shamus, the mayor.
bracha, which is made on the first time you light the menorah. And because you told us that tonight is the first time you light the menorah, and we're also celebrating being together, I think we should make a share together.
Get a stool.
Chag Sameach, everyone. I'm here representing the Academy for Jewish Religion. We've been in Yonkers for several years now, and we are America's oldest Jewish pluralistic seminary. And I have to say we are really, really proud to be in Yonkers and sort of thrilled to be here. I'm here with my colleague, Cantor Lisa Klinger-Cantor, who's the Dean of our Admissions, and Dr. Horn Prauser, who is our Academic Dean and Vice President, and students in the cantorial program. And we're going to sing for you, you've heard of the Great American Songbook. It's the Great Jewish Songbook, almost. We'll not sing every song, but most, and it only gets better if you sing along. So please pull out those song sheets. We have some guest artists who will lead us in a couple of things, and we'll start with the first, the two, me, Manny.
Bye. things that befell us, who can tell them? In every age a hero or sage raised to our aid. At this time of year in days of yore, dark copies of temples did restore, and today our people as we dream will all rise unite and be redeemed. Who can tell the things that tell us? Who can tell them? In every age a hero or sage came to our aid. Who can tell the things that befell us? Who can tell them? In every age a hero or sage came to our aid.
Turn the page, you'll find one of your old favorites at the top of the page.
I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I'll play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I'll play. It has a lovely body, with legs so short and thin, and when it is all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I shall play. Dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I shall play. La 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 la
While we're getting ready for the next song, I just want to recognize Harold Dvorsky, the head of the Jewish War Veterans, former head of the Central War Committee for the City of Yonkers. Judah McAfee is the ultimate war veteran. Thank you, Harold, for defending us. I also want to recognize Sally Pinto from the Council of PTAs. She represents all the PTAs in the City of Yonkers. Oh, Shanae Williams, come on up, Shanae. Shanae just got appointed today to be the council member from the 1st District to replace Christopher Johnson, who is of course moving up to be a county legislator. Shanae Williams, good to see you.
us in the Ladino tune, Ocho Candelicas, which Rabbi Vinny knows very well.
First off, before I sing with you, I just want to say that in Europe, all the great yeshivot, the Mir Yeshiva, the Telz Yeshiva, the Yeshiva Volozhin, they were known by the town that they live in. I think you should change the name of your yeshiva to the Yonkers Yeshiva. What do you think? You with me? I think you're as great as the Volozhiner Yeshiva and the Mir Yeshiva and the Telz Yeshiva and all the rest of the great Lithuanian yeshivas. Yeah? So I think of you as the cantors of the Yonkers Yeshiva. Here we go. The song that we're about to sing is a Ladino song. It is written by Flori Jagoda. She was born in Bosnia, Herzegovina, in Sarajevo, and it is a new Ladino song, relatively new compared to other very, very old Ladino songs. Now, for those of you who don't know what Ladino is, it is the language of the Sfaradim, and it is old Spanish Portuguese, 13th century Spanish Portuguese, mixed with Hebrew. So it is the language of the Jews of Spain and Portugal, and then later Bosnia and Herzegovina, Yugoslavia, many different locations in Holland and all over Latin America. So here we go. Chanukah linda está aquí, ocho candelas para mí. Chanukah linda está aquí, ocho candelas para mí. Oh, una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Oh, muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegría y placer. Muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegría y la miel. Oh, una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí, ocho candelas para mí. Los pastelitos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelitos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Oh. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegría y placer. Muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegría y placer. Oh. Una candelica, tres candelicas, dos candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Los pastelitos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelitos voy a comer con almendritas y la miel. Oh, let's join us. Oh, una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí.
We would like to call up Assembly Member with that famous song she referenced before.
Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering, pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, that anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to bind us together, with peace as the song in our heart. What is a memory that's valued so highly that we keep alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died? We cry out, did not die in vain. We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, this is the promise, this is what we will not fail. Don't let for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
Okay, I think we're down to our last song. If somebody could pull the mayor out, Janice really wants me to take a picture with all the electeds before they depart. So Chris Johnson is coming up for this next song?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. By popular demand. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, by very popular demand, actually.
And then we are
Johnson's demand.
And then we are having live news, by the way, courtesy of the mayor and the groups that sponsored this.
I want to say, first of all, thank you to Councilmember Johnson, because 2 years ago, at the end of this ceremony, he said to me, "You guys sing Lots of Luck. It's my favorite song." Who knew? Who knew there was another Jewish song leader right here in Yonkers? So last year, we brought it out, but this year, we're really going to make it happen.
I'm playing the news at 7.
Okay. Why is that?
The students are what news?
The lady who was here.
What news?
Fire swarm. Verizon.
I don't get that.
You get 12?
Nope.
You get
Rabbit ears, I get. Major stations only.
You don't get like the low.
No cables.
Coming through.
The latkes are coming, and the donuts.
So the first part, your group is going to go, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat them up. Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat them up. Lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots of latkes, lots. Let's all eat them up. Silly ones are soft, silly ones are soft. Silly ones are soft, silly ones are soft. Again, silly ones are soft, silly ones are soft. With me, silly ones are soft, silly ones again. And silly ones are soft, silly ones are soft, silly ones are soft, silly ones are soft. Again, silly ones are soft, 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 silly ones are soft.
So if everybody can get the electric